ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
All right, welcome to Broadway World. It's a Broadway World Friday. My name is Robert Bannon, and you're watching us right here where Broadway gets its news. And growing up, okay, here's a secret about me. I took magic lessons. So I took magic lessons for 2 summers, and I may be able to make the little red foam ball appear and multiply. Maybe that's as far as I got. I might have the coloring book pages. I might got that trick. But you know who's got amazing tricks up their sleeve? Our guest today. And does he have the most amazing special guests? If you come into my office, it's decked in Kermit. My friends already bought me tickets to see his show for my birthday in November. I have my tickets. Do you have your tickets? Then I went to Vegas and I saw Adele, and Adele disappears at the end of the show. You know who's responsible for that? Our next guest. So he works with Adele, Kermit the Frog. He's been on television and he's coming to Broadway. And if you don't have your tickets, what are you waiting for? This is the moment. Will he make Miss Piggy disappear? What, are you going to saw her in half? What is this show? Rob Lake is here. Tell me everything, Rob.
Wow, that was one of the most exciting and fun intros I've ever had. And the fact you start with the red sponge magic ball, that's still one of my favorite tricks. I learned that as a kid at Magic Camp too, and I still love doing it. I did it for my nieces the other day when I got to go home. So we're kindred spirits already. So that's exciting. Where to begin? So much.
Wait, look, we have the same name. Like we look like we're brothers. We're here. This is it.
Yeah.
Rob, I'm going to be when this show is a rousing success and you need someone that's going to be your doppelganger so you can sneak out the stage door, I will do
Perfect.
it.
You'll distract the crowd so I can go home.
I'm excited for you. When did you fall in love with magic? And what is it like when you tell your parents you want to be a magician for a living?
So I started magic when I was 10. But before that, I was a theater kid. I went to theater camp and then switched to magic, and kind of the reverse of, I guess, what you did. But I saw a magic show at 10, but it was a huge production, maybe 20 or 30 dancers, an appearing car, tigers. I mean, the theatrics of it are what made me know that's my version. And I just knew. So I went to the library, got every book on magic, became obsessed. Everyone I knew had to watch me do card tricks and coin tricks and magic and the sponge ball magic trick all the time. And I would go to school every day with magic, my pockets, my backpack, and I just grew my show incrementally. My dream, my vision, my ambition was always on the stage and always on New York. So I've designed and built my whole show over the course of my life incrementally to get to this point.
It's really exciting. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So in your career and building up, do you remember your first professional magic show? How do you even book a mat? How does that work?
Yeah, I started doing shows for the neighbors, Rotary Club, church groups, the talent shows around town, the Mayfair Festival, or, festivals and parks and things. And I started doing birthday parties, for kids, doing magic and making balloon animals. And I always wanted to do illusions. So I would just save up my birthday party money and buy a bigger trick and start from there. So I started building illusions when I think I was 12. I got a carpenter friend to help me build my first actual illusion to make one of the neighborhood. Actually, my sister was the first one to appear in it, and then would use the neighborhood kids as my assistants. And one of my first illusions I started building back then, and learning how to build illusions.
It's amazing. I love this story for this moment. While we're talking, everyone, RobLakeBroadway.com is where you can get information and tickets. And you could go to Rob Lake Magic on Instagram and follow the whole entire journey. So for you to build this show, now you've done shows all over. You've done television.
Yeah, I've done over 60 countries all around the world. We've toured my show all over the globe. Yeah. And finally, Broadway.
And this is the theater kid magician gets to make a Broadway debut with the Muppets as a special Rob. There's Santa Claus, there's Mickey Mouse, there's Kermit the Frog. He is one of the most iconic. How did this even become a partnership? How hard is it to get the Muppets to say, okay, we'll do your magic show on Broadway?
I don't know how hard it is because they said yes to me, but I know how big of a deal it is, how special it is, how unique it is. And I want all of the Muppet lovers in the world to know I get it. I understand the gravity and the responsibility and the reverence required for this opportunity. So everyone knows Kermit's in great hands with one of the biggest, most respected Muppet lovers in the world. and it's kind of like I never thought they'd say yes, so why not ask? And they did say yes. I had a couple ins with the Disney company already. I've designed illusions from, and done magic consulting for Disney Imagineering for the parks and for Disney Theatrical. So I already was in with them and kind of just had a start of a conversation with the Muppet team just to kind of explore a few things. And then we had the Broadway theater offer coming up. And I said, would you guys ever want to do this? And they said, well, what would it look like? And I presented storyboards and get some ideas and outlines. And they said, sure. And it was that. I honestly, there are times I felt like, well, maybe they're more excited about this than I am.
Well, I was very excited about it. I am very excited about it. And I'm such a Muppetista and such a fan of magic. That is a true story. My friends already bought tickets. We're coming in November.
I'm honored.
And
happy birthday.
We are going to be celebrating the birthday with you. So I'm
honored. I'm honored.
I'm very, very excited. So everybody needs to join us. Get your tickets. This run, is it some stuff that we may have seen before that you've done? Is it some of your famous tricks? Is it an all new show? I'm sure working with the Muppets, it requires some new ideas, some new illusions. Mm-hmm. How do you describe what we're going to see?
So like I said, my show is very theatrical. A good friend of mine described the show as a Disney Broadway musical-sized magic show. So it's a massive production. I take the audience on a theatrical journey into what illusion and magic is for me, and on how I experience magic and wonder. So that includes some new illusions. That includes my favorite illusions that are kind of my greatest hits. And like you might have heard, there's this little segment where the Muppets will be joining me to be part of the magic for a moment, because you can't talk about my experience of magic and my journey through magic if you don't talk about my childhood. And I can't separate my childhood from my Muppet obsession.
Same. Muppets Take Manhattan was it for me. And
same. I wore that VHS tape out. It was, that taught me what success is. That taught me what show business is. That's what told me at a young age what my path and goal and dream should be.
Rob, my dad tells a story about the tape got stuck one night and I wouldn't go to bed. So I got you, Rob. I'm with you here. Where did you grow up?
Oklahoma. Major entertainment capital of the world.
When you think showbiz, you automatically think Oklahoma. Hey,
there is a big show tune and musical named after our state. So.
You are right. That is true. So what I find about you is America's Got Talent in 2018, which is 7 years ago already. Your videos had over 80 million views after you did that show. What is it like? It's kind of must feel like you worked your whole life for this moment, but then you're shot out of a cannon. It took you into a whole different realm of this business.
I travel so much. I live in hotels. I never get to watch TV. It's just it's part of it. I'm doing shows at night, so when I come home, I just want to go to bed. So I never really watched the show that much. I still haven't even seen the episode. I've seen my clips. I haven't even seen the episodes I was on. But they'd asked me to do the show for so long, and it just never. I thought, why would I quit touring to go do the show? And the contract's really iffy, where they can own you for life. I mean, it's like all these reasons. And some friends said, no, you really should consider it. So I went on that show expecting, okay, we'll do one episode, do the auditions, then I'll go back on tour and fade away, and everyone forget about me. We'll get 1 million YouTube views. I walked on that stage for my audition, even though they brought me in and planned it. I walked on and I looked out. There were 300 people on the crew. The show's massive, and I said to one of the people, "How many viewers do you get?" "Oh, 16 to 20 million." I'm like, this is a lot bigger than I ever conceived. So I think, okay, I need to do more episodes. So we got our 4 yeses, and a lot of people come on for an audition. Either they don't have another act, or they were built on just to fill those episodes. And so I had to cancel and postpone a tour in Europe to fly back. I did a show in Germany, flew overnight to LA, went filming for 36 hours, flew back to my tour in Europe, just to be able to do the next few episodes. And I had to cancel shows because I had no intention of doing it. I had no idea how many views we would get, because I don't pay attention to that stuff. So I thought, my initial projection, maybe I'll get lucky and get 1 million views on YouTube. And we hit over 80 from the first few videos they posted. It's like crazy. Who would have thought? And people to this day still tell me they watched the show and voted for me. And I underestimated the value and the reach of that show.
It is a moment, and you definitely were a water cooler moment with your run on that show. And now after that, residencies, more tours, bigger theaters. I mean, you're playing a Broadway house is not a small house for magic. So you're bringing spectacle. Like, this is not, we are going to see It is Broadway. It is glitz glamour. This is not your, this is a modern magic show.
It is, and you probably remember we grew up when magic was on TV all the time. There are
All the
TV
time.
specials, and there really kind of isn't right now. The most magic exposure people have is like TikTokers and influencers doing card tricks, which is great, wonderful. But there's not a reference point for a big theatrical magic show right now, and that's really exciting for me because it's you can't separate my magic from the theater, and it's just it blends really well together. So it's a perfect theater. The Broadhurst stage is the perfect stage for the show. There is not a single bad seat in that theater. Because I checked, because I wanted to make sure we got to tour it. In fact, we just posted a video this week of my first tour of it, which was a few days ago. And I checked. I went in the seats and checked the seats because I wanted to make sure, they'd be good for magic. But there's not a bad seat in there. You'll see me. You'll see the magic. You'll see Kermit. You'll see everything perfectly, no matter where you're seated.
I love Robert. I need to see Kermit. So,
Yeah.
and so for you, and now being out here, and this bucket list moment of now, once you make your Broadway debut, you have that forever. Like, you are now a Broadway star. You have your Broadway credit and your Broadway debut. As a kid who loved theater and being exposed to theater, this must be quite the moment.
I don't know if it's really fully hit yet. And I think part of it is I'm busier now than I ever have been, as you can understand why, and it's overwhelming in a good way. So part of it's like I'm clenching onto that so I don't have to, get emotional or really, really focus on it. But I think it will hit pretty soon here. And like, this is, accomplishment I've been working on my whole life and my whole goal. And even, as a kid, designing illusions in the middle of the night and with a notebook and a flashlight in my bed, they were designed with a Broadway theater in mind. So it's really finally making a dream come true. And just, I think it's going to be very validating whenever it does fully hit, because of all the hard work and all the sacrifice and all the discipline and dedication have been worth it.
Now, I feel emotional for you, and we just met.
We did. Well, we have so much in common. We're all already the same person.
We're old friends now. You have won the Merlin Award, which, if you know theater, people are a magician and into that world, you know how important it is. International Stage Magician of the Year. It's literally like the Oscar of magic, and you have now become a name for the illusions that you are able to create and the things that you're able to do for other people. So if it's stage shows, if it's concerts, if it's specials, if it's people now come to you to use your brain. And what amazes me is magic is always evolving. It's not just sawing the lady in half. It's not just pulling the rabbit out of the hat. The tricks are new. The technology is new. The ideas are new. How did it become that you were the go-to guy when people need something spectacle and amazing to happen on stage?
I think it has to do with my obsession and passion for the theater combined with magic, because part of what it is, when I create illusions, like when I did the magic for the redo of Aladdin, I wasn't creating magic for me and my show. I was creating for Agrabah and the genie and for that beautiful Bob Crowley set. I was creating the magic within that realm and those rules. So it's a creative challenge. I think it just I think I started getting recognized for my own shows and illusions, and people knowing how theatrical, and it just kind of transitioned it over. And then referrals, word of mouth, people just started calling me. And I've gotten so busy, I've had to say no to some really exciting stars and people I wanted to work with, but just because it didn't work out time-wise. But I think I will always keep doing that when my schedule allows, because it's so fun to get to create magic with unique challenges and other shows and artists that I really like and like to help bring my passion and merge it with theirs.
Well, it was a TikTok sensation in Vegas the past few years when Adele was at the Coliseum. I must have watched, Rob, 5,000 videos of how you made her disappear in this puff of confetti and all of the tricks and magic that you did. What's it like to build, like you have to work with them and within their show, but then you're bringing a part of you to it has to be really exciting to see people take your tutelage and now go out and be magicians on their own.
Yeah, I was I got to work with Adele, and if you had asked me, a few years ago who my favorite artists are, she would have been in the top 5 for sure. And if you would have asked me, my artists I would love to work with, I would have never ever even put Adele on the list, because so many other stars we can think of you could see doing illusions or disappearing in the show who would have thought that Adele would have had this idea for magic in her show? But sure, she did. Her team was calling around saying, we can't figure this out. We need to bring someone in. And that was one of my favorite experiences of my entire life, not only working with her, but the entire creative team, the director, the designers. In fact, I was talking to some of them today. It was just one of the most supportive productions, and it was almost a year's work, and I couldn't talk about it for a year, and I had to cancel shows to be able to do it and work. And it was one of those situations. I couldn't say for a whole year, but it was so collaborative, and everyone was supporting everyone of what we all want to do to bring this vision, her visions, to life. And that was just a really unique and special experience. And then it was also, I took a lot of risks. I created magic and things that had never been done before. And to be honest, there were some moments I was just banking on, hoping it was going to work. And it did. And we've had full sound stages in warehouses where we built the entire set to do testing, not just on the models, but full scale. So it was a really great project. And at the same time, I was overlapping that. I got to do magic consulting for Sesame Street Live. So in the same week, I was meeting and working with Adele and Big Bird back to back. And I mean, and honestly, I got a lot more emotional meeting Big Bird than I did Adele.
I would feel the same way. I get it. I get it. Well, if you saw
Adele's a normal, great person. She's so authentic. She's exactly like you think she is. And Big Bird, like, I might have lost it.
Well, listen, if you saw Adele in the show and the magic that he did with the piano and with the confetti and the whole thing, I can only imagine what you're going to be able to do 8 shows a week on Broadway every single night. I'm sure you're going to bring all the stuff. Who should see this show? It's not just for families. It's not just for kids. It's just for date night, friends night, girls night out, whatever you are looking for, a fun, interesting evening of things you've never seen before. We should get a ticket to your show.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about magic. It's not it's family friendly, so you can bring the kids, but it's not designed for children. It's not a children's show. Just like the Muppets, most of the Muppet jokes go over the kids' heads. Magic is universal, so people who are theater, nuts and come see everything, they will love the show because it's theatrical and highly theatrical. Then also people who are not into theater, we have so many people who come to our show as their first professional theater experience. They watch AGT, they see that stuff, they see concerts. And it's great because we get to introduce so many people around the world. When we tour to performing arts centers, we have so many people that it's their first time coming to that theater. And we like to think that we help bring them in so they keep coming back. And so magic's a great gateway to introduce so many people to the theater. And hopefully we'll have a lot of new people coming to Broadway who can share the same passion and love for it that I have.
And you may be the first experience people have in theater, the first experience they have in magic, and you're going to be a lot of people's first Broadway show, and that also makes me want to boohoo cry.
but I mean, especially now, the world is so dark and rough, and it's tough right now. It really is, and we need to quit scrolling. We need to be present. We need to be connected, and you don't have any connection other than a live experience. There's nothing that compares to that. And magic takes that and adds on the element of wonder and enchantment and this belief where even for a second maybe anything is possible. And so I like to have that uplifting and that inspiring feeling going out into the world because I think we need it. I know we all need it, myself included, now more than ever.
Rob Lake, I love you. I'm so excited for this show.
Oh, me too. I'm so honored that you already have your tickets.
Tell your people, tell the PR team, your PR team, we paid full price and everything. I'm there. We got dinner reservations. We have a group of us, the 6 of us are going, young, old, everybody. There is nothing better this holiday season. If you're in New York City, come this October, November, throughout this season, through the holiday. If you're looking for something to do, if your family's on your nerves because they're there for the holiday, get tickets to see the show. I'm so excited. It's going to be Rob Lake, Broadway.com, Rob Lake Magic on Instagram. I'm following. You better be following. And you're going to see things that you've never, ever, ever seen before. Going to blow your mind. Rob Lake Magic with special guest The Muppets comes to Broadway. I'm so excited. Congratulations. And thank you for spending time with us.
Oh, I was so looking forward to this. Thank you for having me today. Thanks, Robert.
Am I supposed to go and try to figure out the illusion, or should I just live in the moment?
Enjoy it. Believe in the magic. Believe in the magic.
I believe you are magic. I think you can do it. I don't think there's a trick. I think he's got something spooky, wooky going. I believe in you, Rob Lake.
Good, perfect. We'll leave it at that.
Done. Congratulations. We'll see you again real soon.
Can't wait. Thanks so much.